America has reached a new milestone in the fight against coronavirus. Half of the country's adults are now fully vaccinated, with more than 61% receiving at least one dose. Now, at this rate, the Biden administration is well on its way to reaching its goal, 70% of adults with one dose by the 4th of July.
This is a major milestone in our country's vaccination efforts. The number was 1% when we entered office January 20th.
Let's bring in NBC News Now correspondent Maura Barrett. So, Maura, these vaccination numbers obviously offer promising news, but the CDC says we're not out of the woods yet. Why is that?
That's because the people that are fully vaccinated right now, the portion that have been fully vaccinated, as one doctor described it, were the, quote, easy ones. These are people who sought out the vaccines and wanted to get it as soon as they could. The rest of the people that are going to need to be vaccinated might be more hesitant and not willing to take the vaccines. And so Dr. Walensky at the CDC White House briefing yesterday was talking about the need for people to get vaccinated while also talking about the progress that's been made.
Cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are all declining because of the millions of people who have stepped forward and done their part to protect their health and the health of their communities, to move us out of this pandemic. If you are not vaccinated, our guidance has not changed for you. You remain at risk of infection. You still need to mask and take other precautions.
You heard that warning there, looking ahead to Memorial Day weekend for people who are unvaccinated. Remember last year, this was one of those summer holiday weekends where cases spiked after we saw that influx in travel. Dr. Walensky also adding that people who are unvaccinated should add to their list to do this weekend, calling it a gift of protection.
Yeah, good reminder of what we saw 1 year ago. Now, Maura, we're getting a better idea of how the vaccines are working. The CDC has released data on those breakthrough infections. Those are the people who test positive for COVID, even though they're fully vaccinated. What are we learning about those infections?
Joe, the CDC is emphasizing that these breakthrough cases are rare. Take a look at these numbers. Of the more than 130 million people that have been fully vaccinated, just a little more than 10,000 people have reported breakthrough infections. This is the idea that someone who tests positive after they have been fully vaccinated, but even so, roughly a quarter of these cases were asymptomatic. And so doctors are continuing to monitor these cases because they want to get a sense of how these variants would come into play when it comes to these vaccines. But it's important to note that none of these vaccines are fully 100% effective. So statistically, there are going to be some minor breakthrough cases.
And more questions are still swirling around the origins of COVID. The White House COVID team has now responded to that U.S. intelligence report that says workers at the Chinese lab in Wuhan got sick with COVID symptoms back in November of 2019. What are they saying about that?
So the White House is taking this extremely seriously because we still don't know the actual origin of COVID-19, whether it escaped from that Chinese research lab where those workers got sick, or if it was a natural occurrence. I want you to hear more from the White House briefing yesterday.
It is our position that we need to get to the bottom of this, and we need a completely transparent process from China. We need the WHO to assist in that matter. We don't feel like we have that now.
Many of us feel that it is more likely that this is a natural occurrence, as has happened with SARS-CoV-1, where it goes from an animal reservoir to a human. But we don't know 100% the answer to that.
Now, earlier this year, our team at NBC reported that U.S. intelligence agencies had not ruled out the possibility of a lab accident, but U.S. officials are saying that if the Chinese don't play ball and provide more access to records and interviews with people involved, that they might not ever get to the bottom of it. Joe.
All right, Maura Barrett, thank you so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here. And click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.